Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you all. So many of you probably are watching this where it's not morning. So good afternoon if you're watching on Sunday afternoon. It's a big one. The Saturday football was awesome. The Saturday football involved loads of good teams and loads of good FPL players. Because of that, this morning's show is very much going to be full of juicy FPL information. But also, we're going to be looking at the tactics. We're going to be breaking down the 6 games. We're going to be looking at players we should definitely now have on our watch list. And boy, is there a few at Bournemouth. We're going to speak about Liverpool as day one. Newcastle, of course, continued to score goals and win. We'll talk about Arsenal and maybe how they're slowing down. So we are going to be showing the visual stuff from the games, the XG plots, the pass maps, all of the data where you need it. Okay. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. We're going to kick off just with the results as always. And we're going to say hello to some of you that are watching live in the chat. So many of you will watch this on catch up, but there's also loads of you that watch live. So good morning to Reese and Nizzy. Hello to Mackham. Loads of our channel members in. Keith says, happy Australia Day. I didn't know that. Banton's in. Is Clive a buy? Maybe, but maybe Semenya and maybe Atara. We're going to talk about all 3 of them in today's show. Jay's in the house. We're definitely going to talk about assistant manager chip as well, because David Moyes had to do one thing. Had to do 2 things this weekend for me to consider assistant manager chip in Gameweek 24. He had to ideally beat Brighton, but he had to put in a really good performance as well. They had to catch my eye, Everton. And when we see the data and the visuals from the game, I think you lot might agree that David Moyes is now a risky assistant manager chip. Yes, the result against Brighton was great. The performance wasn't, and I'll show you why later. Stay tuned for that. We'll go game by game. If you're enjoying the show so far, guys, do give me that thumbs up button. Do hit the like button. But also, there's loads of you that watch that aren't subscribed to the channel. I'd love you to hit the subscribe button. The amount of subscribes helps me do lots of things on YouTube. It helps keep the channel going. That's a mouthful. So the subscribes would be really, really welcome, because the more subscribes I get, the more videos I can do, right? The more content I can create. So if you are one of those lurkers out there, do hit that subscribe button. And look, what we'll do today, if we get to, I don't know, if we get 50 subs, we'll give away 5 channel memberships. Let's do that. So if you want to add your comments in the chat, you've got to be subbed as well. Just FYI. Right, let's get cracking, shall we? Where are we kicking off? My camera a little bit out of focus. Maybe. Should be better now. Right, let's just look at the results. I mean, surprise of the weekend so far. I'm going to say Bournemouth because it's 5. I actually had Bournemouth to win the game. I had them in my accumulator. I think I tweeted that I could see an upset there, but I didn't see it being 5-0. Andrew says, thanks for the free. No worries, man. We'll give away 5 more today if we get that sub. So the surprise team of the weekend for me was Bournemouth. Get your names in the chat, and then we'll go game by game. As always, though, before we go game by game, we're going to talk a little bit about just the over and under performers of XG from the Scout members area. I always like to give a nod to the Scout members area at the top of the show, because this is what I do every Sunday morning. I pretty much on these streams take you through my Sunday routine. In the morning, I watch Match of the Day highlights, done that, and then I go through Scout members area and I go on between the posts for the stuff that I'm about to show you in today's stream. You literally just get it an hour after me, right? And I used to do it without anyone knowing or without anyone watching. Now I do it live with you lot watching, which is great. So Bournemouth, yeah, you'd expect XG overachievers, the guys that scored goals yesterday, whether it was Gakpo, Calafiori. Gakpo, by the way, almost over 1 XG for the 2 goals. Haaland and Foden, yeah, relatively modest XGs. The underperformers, those that missed the big chances, it is the usual suspects. We see Nico Jackson on this list a lot. We see Havertz on this list a lot. Annoying. Sancho in there as well. And Milenkovic for Forest should have scored. Shots. Light green is on target. Newcastle in the dark green as well there, had the most shots, and then Liverpool and Bournemouth. Unsurprising, it was those 3 teams. Chances created, Newcastle are flying at the minute, although it was Southampton. When we look at players, check out Isak, because all 4 of his shots in the light green, they're all on target. Isak is working the keeper. And that is absolutely what we love to see in FPL. By the way, Atara, who's playing up front for Bournemouth, although up front with Cliver, it's a 4-4-2. I'll show you their pass map later. Atara with 4 shots, Semenyo with 4. Atara's were all on target. Szoboszlai is definitely catching the eye. Took his goal so well, but then Salah's first goal, Liverpool's second, it very easily could have been a Szoboszlai header. He missed it by millimetres. Szoboszlai is getting into amazing positions, to be fair. We like him very much. Alanga too, for chances created. And Jacob Murphy, I might be shopping for a budget midfielder. Jacob Murphy is playing very, very well at the moment. So let's crack on with the Liverpool game, shall we? I think we've got to start with Liverpool. And look, I've showed you the all the games. So we will go through the 6 games from yesterday, but then we'll also have a little preview to the games later today as well. But look, I think if we're looking at those 6 games, what's the big one for FPL? Match of the day running order, if you like. For me, it's Liverpool. We have to start with Liverpool because we are looking to buy Liverpool players. And we're looking to buy Liverpool players if we don't have a triple up already because of that double game week now. So I've done a poll. Are you on a green or a red arrow? And 83% of you are on a green. I now want to do a poll around Cody Gakpo. So will you own Gakpo for double game week 24? And I'm going to say yes, owned in 23. Yes, buying for 24, and then a no. And let's just see where you're at with that. Let's see where you're at in that poll. So if you've got any questions, do get them in on this specific game. Don't hit me up with questions on Chelsea Man City yet. Wait till we get to that game. We've got questions on Gakpo for -4. I'd be tempted. It depends who you're selling. Depends who you're selling. Slot for the assistant managership, I don't love it. It's a lot of money, and he's about to play Bournemouth away in a very tricky game, and Everton away is not going to be easy as well. Oh, guys, Jerry's just become a new member. Jerry, thank you so much, man. That is really appreciated this Sunday. For anyone else that wants to be a member like Jerry, you can hit the join button underneath this video. Members get all their questions answered. They get comments always in the chat. They support the channel and they get extra content, all for that squad level tier at $2.99 a month. Ultras is the WhatsApp group. But thank you so much, Jerry. I really appreciate that, mate. So Liverpool, how did the game go? Constant big chances. Look at the Ipswich chance. Didn't have a chance till like the 65th minute, and then they didn't have a big chance or a relatively good chance till over 90. This is how bad Ipswich were, or how good Liverpool were, right? It was all Liverpool. It was absolutely an awesome performance, as you would expect from them at home to Ipswich. A bit of a pointless clean sheet wipe out there at the end, right? There are a couple of big chances conceded in the last 5 minutes, really annoying. And Greaves with the goal was really frustrating as well. You watch Gakpo blank in the double now, that'd be very FPL, wouldn't it? Gakpo was the player I tipped massively all game week. If you watched any of my videos, my early thoughts, my Friday live, or my Saturday morning live, or my team selection, 4 videos, I think I Gakpo on the thumb of 3 of them. He's on the thumb again now, right? Absolutely. Oh, Keith, will you send me a screen grab in the... If that's you, Keith, I'm not sure if that's normal Keith from Australia. Keith, send a screen grab of what it looks like with the assistant managership in the WhatsApp group, will you? I kind of want to see it. With obviously the manager goes next to your sub keeper, but I want to see Moyes there. So yeah, send a screen grab, will you? I can't want to see that. I am tempted on Moyes, and I'll speak about Everton later. But to go on to Gakpo, I think he's a great asset, but I wouldn't be selling a Chris Wood. And those that have got Chris Wood couldn't get to Gakpo. They couldn't get to Gakpo because they've probably already got an Isak and a budget forward. But those that had a Jackson or a Solanke, Jackson could get to Gakpo very easily. So Liverpool dominated the football match. The big circles are the big chances. Lots of shots inside the box, 16-3. And Gakpo's XGI was over 1. It was a convincing performance, and he stole the headlines. Szoboszlai, I thought, was arguably Liverpool's best player. And what we're seeing with this Liverpool formation when Diaz plays as the number 9, there is no number 9. Diaz is very much a false 9 that drifts left. And if you look at Szoboszlai and Diaz, they're actually playing the same position. These are like both playing number 10s, or both playing false 9s. So what you have is you have Trent inverting into midfield, almost as a defensive midfielder. You have Gravenberch holding, you have McAllister holding, and because of that, Szoboszlai and Diaz just become number 9.5s, right? They're better than box-to-box 8s. They're like number 10s either side. And they're false 9s. So they're always in the box, late runs into the box, and they are mimicking each other. Szoboszlai here, Diaz here. Cody Gakpo and Salah are more advanced, and they're slightly wider. But Salah and Gakpo aren't hugging the touchline, right? Look how wide they are. It's good positioning. Good positioning to be cutting in on their opposite foot. Gakpo on his right, Salah on his left, and curling balls to the back post, as we've seen so many times this season. We saw it for Gakpo's assist. And when Gakpo scores his first goal, he's in the poacher position of the number 9 because he's the most advanced of the pitch. If I'm buying Liverpool players, not named Mo Salah and Trent, Gakpo's top of my list. Other than that, because of the money, I would consider Szoboszlai over Diaz. And I actually think Szoboszlai is more nailed than Diaz. And we don't know if Jota's going to be fit for the double, for one of those games in the double. So that's where we're at with the Liverpool average position. Trent was brilliant again, by the way. Positionally, Gakpo's more threatening than Salah. I'm not so sure. No, Salah's still always the most dangerous. He's always the most advanced. Always, without doubt. Ipswich, we don't need to analyse because I don't think anyone's buying an Ipswich player. Philogene back in the starting 11, and we're going to see Enciso of Brighton now on loan at Ipswich. He came on, he got the assist. We're going to see him starting games. So he's an exciting potential one to keep an eye on. Before we move on, though, I think that's it with Liverpool. I want to address triple captaincy. If you've got it still, I think you use it next week. I don't have it. Well played to me, Captain Gakpo. That is amazing. That is amazing. By the way, in the poll, 70% of you, and I'd like to think this is slightly higher on my channel than most because I've flogged Gakpo to death. And if you're watching my channel, you're more likely to probably buy him and listen to my advice. Not that you should always listen to my advice, but look, Gakpo, 70% of you owned him in 23. That's pretty damn high. So I'm pretty proud of that. That's awesome. I hope I convinced you to buy Gakpo last week, guys. If you didn't, 10% of you were saying you're going to buy him in 24. And loads bought him last night. He's gone up in price. 22% of you won't own Gakpo for the double. That could be a bit of a scary watch. Although if you don't, you'll probably own double Liverpool defence. Double Liverpool defence is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine for the double game. We can't expect them to keep one clean sheet in the 2 fixtures. And then it's Wolves after that. They got a chance. Keith, I really can't keep up if this is you or not because you've not got the emoji by your name. Keith is one of our channel members, but I can't see the emoji, which makes me go, is that Keith in Australia? We get loads of Aussies watching. Of course, says quick like reminder chat. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, do keep reminding me to push that because it really makes a difference to the YouTube algorithm. People subscribing. When YouTube sees you've got loads of subscribers off a show, it shows it to more people. So that's why it's so important. And I'm going to give away 5 channel memberships if we get 50 subs in today's stream. We've had 5 already, so we got a chance. Morning, Kevin. Hope you're well, mate. We've just done Liverpool. We're going through all the games of the game week. I think we start now. Oh, well played if you went João Pedro to Gakpo. I didn't have the money to make that move. I would have done. So we've done the Liverpool analysis, which is the headline here is Szoboszlai and Diaz are playing like false 9s together. They're just as advanced. One is on the right, one is on the left. Then you've got 2 sitters in McAllister and Gravenberch. It's very much sort of a box midfield. Trent then inverts into that box as well. But Szoboszlai's positioning is really, really interesting. It's as good as Diaz is. And Gakpo is still the headline. So let's move on to Man City, Chelsea. And then I think we've got to do Newcastle. Then we've got to do Bournemouth. So we'll stick with that order. Stay tuned, guys. Man City versus Chelsea was a pretty damn even game until half-time. That first 40 minutes, Chelsea should have gone 2 up, and they didn't. And Gary Neville on English commentary said they're gonna rue the missed chance there. I think it was Palmer through a 1-on-1, and it was like, yeah, City are now going to come into this game. And second half, Chelsea were rubbish, and City were really, really good. City still look weak defensively. We saw a couple of errors from the new boy. But I am seeing signs of improvement at City in attack. And Marmoush is a proper baller. All their shots pretty much in good positions for Man City. 15-10. XG is almost 1 XG in it. Marmoush is the interesting take here. Marmoush is listed as a 7 million forward, and he absolutely looks like a decent player. I was really, really interested in his performance yesterday, and he ticked a lot of boxes. We'll get to Everton in a sec, guys. Any questions on Man City, Chelsea? And as we go game by game, we'll keep the questions on each game, just because everyone watching on demand and loads watch on Sunday lunchtime. I'm conscious that if I'm all scatty just reacting to the chat, it's not as good an experience for you guys watching on catch up. So if you are watching on catch up, do drop a comment below and I'll also respond to your question so you're not missing out completely. So Man City, Chelsea questions only. But yeah, Marmoush absolutely looks like a baller. And at 7 million, he's going to be a steal. The biggest surprise for me was that Marmoush started. When Pep buys an attacking player that's not named Erling Haaland, he takes a while to integrate him into the team. We've seen it to death. I feel like with defenders like Akanji and Gvardiol, they came into the 11 right at the top. Haaland the same. But all the other sort of attacking players you've seen him buy usually takes a while. Marmoush has only had a couple of training sessions. He came towards middle of last week? And come Saturday, he's in the 11. That shows us that, boy, is Pep, one, desperate for him, and two, there's been assurances. You come here and you're starting games and I'm showing you straight away. Marmoush is one to watch because he's 7 million, guys. Yes, you would want him listed as a midfielder because he's going to be playing out wide a lot, I think. But yeah, great performance. Foden haunting me still. Yeah, I can't do a stream without Foden being mentioned. I think it was the third comment on this YouTube channel this morning was about Foden. But yeah, never mind. He got his goal. Good news for me was Foden didn't get any bonus points, which was nice. So it wasn't a haul, 7 points? Bruno could get 7 points today. Let's see. But yeah, Foden was frustrating yesterday. Other headlines from that City performance is Matheus Nunes. He is now their right back. And he's been their right back for the last 3-4 games. So just monitor that, because at right back, he does get into good advanced positions. I'm not saying go and buy Matheus Nunes, but I am saying monitor the situation. Back pain, because he's so cheap. He's 4.9 million. He's had 90 minutes in the last 3 games. And if he's going to continue playing in that position, when the City fixtures turn around game week 29 onwards, maybe he's one to consider. By the way, Gvardiol, awesome. Such a good asset, Gvardiol. Well done if you are getting the Foden points. Is it time to sell Cole Palmer? I really don't think it is. He should have scored yesterday, the 1-on-1. He's still Chelsea's talisman. Yes, Chelsea aren't scoring the same amount of goals. But yes, Palmer's a 2-2. But before that, he had 10 and 10. He's still on 24 points for 4 games. That's a very good going. At 65% ownership, it is going to dip a bit. But he's got West Ham next, then Brighton, Villa, Southampton, Leicester. Boy, I'm not even considering it, and I won't consider it. He is in my team for... He's 100% in my team, unless he gets injured, for Southampton, Leicester in 27-28. And until then, I'm not even going to be consider selling him. Jackson drifted left a ton yesterday. That's not normal. That's probably just game state. Sorry, I'm really awkward back. I just carrying my daughter who's getting far too heavy to be lifted above my head yesterday. Jackson to Gakpo's move I made last week, and I'd absolutely make that move again. If you've got Jackson, the fixtures are great, but Gakpo's are better, and Gakpo's got the double. If he's your only route to Gakpo, you make the move. Let's stick on Chelsea City, though. Any other questions on? Palmer, I think I've addressed. Let's do a poll on Palmer. Will you own Palmer for game week 24? So next week. Will you own Palmer next week? I can't believe so many are selling him, but get a vote in. Rico Lewis has absolutely lost his spot in the team. He's a sell for me. I own Rico Lewis. Palmer stays. Your back hurts because you don't answer my questions. Oh, Sander. I answer so many. I can't... Look, if you're a channel member, I'll see you straight away. That's all I'm going to say. Channel members get priority. Captain Gakpo got 34 points. Well played, Christian. That is amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. No way I sell Palmer. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised so many want to. Can't think of other premiums you want to move into. If you want to route to Haaland, you might have to use a cash cow there in Palmer. But yeah, Those thinking about selling Palmer, beware, is soon getting big calls. Yeah, with the fixtures he's got, and his effective ownership is so big. I know you're joking, Sander. You're good, man. You're good. 95% of you will own him next week. So it does feel like a lot of hot air on the Palmer one. I don't think anyone's actually doing it. Very few are. Right. We're going to get to my team later in the show. I always like to show it. I've got 3 players left to play this game week. I've got Munoz, Rodgers, and Bruno. How many players have you got to play this game week, guys? And then we're going to move on. We've got to look at Newcastle and Bournemouth games. How many players do you have left to play? I reckon a lot have had a lot of players play. I'm going to start with an option of 1. I think there will be managers out there with only 1 player to play. Let's have a look. 4 left for Freddie. Okay. 2 for Sarah, 1 left. 1 Morgan Rodgers, 2 left on 72. Nice. 3, Dina, Rodgers and Saya. Quite a lot got Palace players. So there'll be a fair few with Palace players, a few with Man United players. And when we look at the fixtures still of the game week to go, Saturday really was the game. The Saturday really was the day for it. Like, yes, a few have got a Brentford player. A few have got a Palace player. Very few have got Spurs and Leicester. Most have got 1 Villa player. No West Ham. Maybe a Fulham and maybe a United. So I reckon there'll be a lot of 3s. It's 2 winning out, though. That's good for me. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see a lot of 1s and a lot of 2s. 19% of you have got 4 or more players to play, though. Fair play. Fair play. So let's crack on, shall we? We're going proper fast pace this morning because there's 6 games and I want to be answering questions too. So as always, guys, keep your questions on the game if we can. And then we'll finish with some chip strategy chat. There's over 500 of you watching, which is awesome. Thank you guys for your support. If we get to 50 channel memberships this morning, we'll give away 5 channel memberships. We had 5. Just checking now. Yeah, we've had 10 subscribed so far. So keep your subs coming in, guys, to support the channel. And let's crack on. So, Southampton, Newcastle. It was a big one. We knew it was going to be big. I didn't think it would be as big as the Liverpool one. In terms of, I said all week, Salah's the better captaincy option than Isak, and it turns out I was wrong. Fair play if you went Isak. It was brave betting against that Liverpool fixture, but Isak's flying at the minute. He could have had a hat trick. Could have had 4. Could have had a first half hat trick. Look at the dominance though. Really frustrating for Newcastle to concede because other than that Bednarek chance in the first 10 minutes, they didn't really have a sniff. Oh, thank you, Jerry. You've just returned as a paying member. Yeah, there'll be loads of members only content out this week. Sander, you're very kind, mate. Very kind. I didn't realise when you had said about answer my question, the joke, Sander. I didn't realise it was you. It was a different Sander. Gordon with an assist denied on the line. Yes. Gordon's playing very good football, but so is Murphy. Honestly, I think I'd go Murphy and save the money. Murphy's smashing it at the minute. Annoying for me who own Lewis Hall, by the way. FPL Harry says, Bruno Fernandes has the flu. Is that the FPL Harry? Don't know. Have a look. No, that's a fake FPL Harry. Oh, Lord. So don't listen to him. 12 shots for Southampton, but loads of low XG. And actually, they do that quite well, don't they? They do that. I'm banning fake FPL Harry. They do that quite well, Newcastle. They limit teams to low XG chances quite often. And yesterday we saw that. The only biggish chance was the goal from Bednarek. Good to see Jason in the house. Thank you, mate. It's very kind of you. Definitely keep Gordon though. And look, Gordon was great yesterday. Isak was great. I've only watched the match of the day highlights. Only watching the highlights. Jacob Murphy was the better pick. looking at the data, Jacob Murphy was also really, really good. Like, he hit the post late on with a left foot, but from outside the box. But honestly, he's really caught my eye, Jacob Murphy. And when we look at the numbers, his XGI yesterday was 0.31. So, like, nothing sky high. Gordon's was 0.27. They had the same XGI, give or take. Murphy's just a lot cheaper. He's like 2.5 million cheaper. That's a lot of money. And you're still getting you're still getting a guaranteed start. And occasionally he'll play the 90 minutes. Like, he played 90 minutes yesterday. Often gets hooked late in a game. That's fine. Gordon sometimes gets hooked. I think Murphy is doing really, really well. As we can see again yesterday, a lot came down that right-hand side. Now, the Newcastle fixtures, they've had some amazing games, don't get me wrong, but they're not bad. Fulham at home, City away, Forest at home, Liverpool away. It's too good, too bad. I think Forest at home is an all right fixture. Yeah. Probably just happy though with 2. I got Lewis Hall and Isak. But yeah, Tonali's goal was amazing. Bruno G still playing the number 8 and Tonali the 6. Joel Linton sitting. Lewis Hall is always more advanced than Livramento. And Lewis Hall takes some of the set pieces. They do blank in 29 very likely though. We don't know for definite, but we do know they're blanking. Well, they're very likely to blank. And Harvey Barnes is also injured, guys, by the way, if you are worried about Jacob Murphy. Like, Barnes is injured, which means absolutely nailed at the moment, Murphy, in the Premier League. Yeah, Dubravka, Pope is back fit. I guess Pope will come straight back into the 11, though, surely. Gordon to Kluivert in 25 is my move. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So, look, that's Newcastle. And then we've got Southampton. No one's buying a Southampton player. We're not going to waste time on that one, I don't think. Bournemouth Forest, though. We've got to talk about Kluivert, haven't we? It's not just Kluivert. It's Atara and it's Semenyo. And when I look at this performance from Bournemouth again yesterday, and don't forget, this Bournemouth team went to Newcastle and scored 4. This Bournemouth team is flying at the moment. This Bournemouth team hasn't lost a game since game week 12. Like, that's obscene. Now, when we go through one by one, Kluivert, do you know what? We'll do it on the average position map because this gives you a little bit more insight, right? Gives you a little bit more insight into where they're playing. So the shot map was useful for Bournemouth. What they did yesterday was they got big chances, the big circles. And Forest and Chris Wood and co, 18 shots for Forest, loads of them from distance, pop shots, but none of them big chances. No big bubbles. What does that mean? No big chances. 0.95 XG total wasn't great. And look, Bournemouth, yes, we're looking at their attackers, but they're also keeping some cleans as well. Semenyo has been absolutely brilliant for Geddy. And yeah, Dango's been amazing. But the big question will be which one of the 3. They're all listed as midfielders. Now, this is where they're playing. This is where they played yesterday. We know Semenyo always plays on the left. Brooks is now in the 11, and he has been for a while. He's playing on the right. It's very much an old school 4-4-2. The back 4, Kirkes gets most forward. Lewis Cook is playing right back. 2 sitting in Christie and Adams. That partnership's really good in the middle of the park. Wide men that aren't that wide but are also attacking in Semenyo and Brooks. And guys, it's a front 2. Justin Kluivert's playing up front, but so's Atara. If I was to pick out one number 9 from watching the highlights, it feels like Atara is actually the number 9. I know the average position map here suggests otherwise, but Atara's got slightly better. My back is giving me so much pain. Atara's gonna, I think, be in the best positions. Atara doesn't have pens, and he doesn't come with 90-minute guarantees. But since Evan Nilsson's been out and we've seen him playing up front, he has played 90 in the last 3. He's 0.4% owned and he's 5 million. So Atara is the cheapest. His XGI yesterday was 1.05. Semenyo, he's the best player in the club. 0.48 XG and he's 5.6 million. Kluivert's 5.7. So you've got to spend 0.6 or 0.7 more if you're going from a Dango to Kluivert or to Semenyo. But Kluivert is playing with real swag at the minute. He's 10% owned. His XGI yesterday was 0.72. He scored an unbelievable goal that was disallowed. if that was given, it's goal of the month, right? It's getting clipped up. It was twinkle toes in the box. It was a lovely little 1-2, a great finish. If I'm ranking them, I'm actually probably ranking Cliver at 1, Atara at 2, Semenyo at 3. And you're talking to a guy that last week said Semenyo was his number 1. This might change every week, and I'm still really uneasy on committing to who my favourite at 3 is. We have another game to scout them, because I don't think many are going to buy them in 24. They've got Liverpool in 24, and we're all buying Liverpool and Everton players for the double. Game week 25, however, Southampton, Wolves, Brighton. Yes, please. Yes, please, Brighton attackers. I might even grab myself a pair. Let's see how they get on against Liverpool. We'll talk more about Brighton next week and I'll rank them again. But at the moment, I think they're all really, really good picks. And Kirkes feels like a steal at the back as well. Absolutely, he does. So, guys, that was the Bournemouth breakdown. I think it's really interesting to see. It's a 4-4-2. And it's Cliver and Atara up front. Right. Forest, Chris Wood, deep. Alanga. When Hudson-Odoi doesn't play, Alanga takes up even better positions. Kirk is absolutely for that one. Don't run out of patience with Forest. That's still elite, and they'll still keep clean sheets, and Woods will still score goals. Like, I'm happy not owning Wood at the minute, but boy, has he cost me this season. If you got Wood, I don't think you sell him. Wolves and Arsenal. Guys, Arsenal have changed. Arsenal are now a boring 1-0 team. Boring Arsenal. They're like Mourinho's Chelsea. They'll grind out results. I know they were down to 10. Regardless, I don't think they're producing much. But we know they're really solid defensively. So look, that's where we're at with Wolves and Arsenal. There's not a ton to see. It's same old Arsenal, good clean sheet value. And those that are double Arsenal defence, well played. I don't, and it's cost me this week. But I've benefited in the last few weeks when they've not kept a clean sheet in 4 the last games before this week. So it's their first clean sheet in 5. Now, they're about to play Man City. However, for Leicester in 25, probably want an Arsenal player back, don't I? Timber on my bench again, yeah. It definitely cost me yesterday not having Arsenal defence. Yeah, I didn't look at how much it cost me, but it did. A lot, though, sold an Arsenal defender. There are a lot of Saliba sellers. A lot sold Saliba. To a Liverpool defender, which is funny. Big Man did the same. He went Saliba to Van Dijk, and it was like, oh no, Saliba's got 9 points, Van Dijk 2. That's a bit of a killer. So yeah, that's where we're at with Arsenal Wolves. In terms of the shot map, it was pretty shot shy for both teams. And then the pass map, Trossard's playing well out on that left. He's made that his own. Timber always high on the pass lines on the right. Declan Rice getting into good positions, but he had to play the Odegaard role. Arsenal with no Saka, no Odegaard, we're never going to be fun to watch. Let's face it. But they'll keep you clean sheets. Cunha was lively. Strand Larsen looked good. I don't mind Wolves. at all. And I think there'll be a time we go back to Cunha or even Strand Larsen. Their fixtures aren't brilliant at the moment. They're mixed. But from game week 28, it's a sea of green. Keep your eye on that for Wolves. Game week 28, a sea of green. Yeah, a lot went Saliba to Van Dijk or Konate and Raya to Alisson. Yeah. For those that had Raya and Gabriel, fair play. Fair play. Well done, Jerry. Oh, Strand Larsen injured. Yeah, but how long is he out for? I don't know if it's a big one. I don't think so. Don't know. I'm talking game week 28, which is... Yeah, game week 28 is not till the 8th of March, guys. Got a while. Brighton Everton. It was pretty ugly. David Moyes may have got the win, but that big XG chance is the penalty, 0.78. And other than that, Everton did jackal. They just defended well. And they limited Brighton to low XG chances and low XG shots. Oh, was he crying? Apparently, okay, maybe he's not. It is bad. So do I want to go Moyes in the double game week? I need to think about it. What I need to do is watch Leicester today. I need to know more about Leicester. I need to know I'm going to get a Leicester win. And can he cause an upset versus Liverpool? A draw gets him 8 points against Liverpool. A win for Slot gets you 6. Or, I am tempted to go there for Moyes. And I do like game week 25, swapping Moyes to Silva, who plays Forest. I like that. That's a 10-point bonus potential there as well. So I need to watch Fulham today and Ipswich today before I commit. But definitely tempted. But I did need yesterday a performance, and I didn't get it. I got the result. I wanted both those things. No, all games are on. The weather's not that bad. João Pedro doing my head in. Doing mine head in as well. Like João Pedro, look at all these low XG chances, man. You just want some high XG for Brighton. It's too neat and tidy and lots of little pop shots. And it's like, no, I want big chances. Give me some big bubbles. Give me 3 big bubbles and 4 shots. Instead, we've got 16 shots and no big bubbles. It's just not going to get the likes of João Pedro goals. We need big chances. Everton, by the way, Decore is like playing up front pretty much. Obviously, we saw Calvert-Lewin injured, so ignore the average position. And then we saw Beto come on and play up front. But Decore always takes up good positions. And when we've seen in years gone by with David Moyes, he likes a big midfielder with late runs into the box with an eye for goal. Souček, Fellaini. Tim Cahill wasn't big, but did it all the time for him. He likes that combative midfielder that can late run into the box and score him goals. Cahill, Fellaini, Souček are great examples of that. And they're all good FPL assets at times under Moyes. Decore is about to be a very good asset at Everton. Genuinely, I prefer the idea of buying Decore because he's a midfielder than an Ndai who's an attacker and on pens. I would genuinely consider, if you are going to buy an Everton attacker, I would consider Decore. I'm not buying an Everton attacker, just putting it out there. And yeah, Pickford too good a keeper to concede if you don't have big chances. Yeah, I bet you like Pickford, don't you? Of course you do, Mackham. You Mackham. I'm not his biggest fan, but you're right. He is too good a keeper if they're low XG chances. And that's what we saw. Low XG chances. Pickford saves. Brighton, by the way, João Pedro is playing where you want him to play. Number 10 with Welbeck as the 9. Still no points. Brighton, neat and tidy. The output isn't there. They've got Forest next, and then Chelsea. Don't love João Pedro, not going to lie. He's probably staying in my team, but I don't love him. Guys, in terms of players you've still got to play, most common answer has been 2 players left to play. I like that. So, Decore is an absolute donkey, one of the first players to be dropped, the first 11 to make some signings. Yeah, but we're talking about double gaming next week and we talk about the run-in. Loads of you are just joining, by the way, guys, because I usually go live at 9:30 on a Sunday morning. I went early today at 9. So because of that, if you're just joining at 9:30, go back and watch the last half an hour and you will... you're in for a good one. We've gone through every game of the game week so far. It's been really good fun. I've spoken a little bit about chip strategy. I've gone game by game, the big headlines. Szoboszlai's positioning, playing almost like a false 9. Kluivert and Dango Atara both playing up front for Bournemouth. Atara, I think, slightly better in terms of position. Both amazing yesterday. Other headlines, Arsenal, defenders good, attackers not so good, probably swerve. Bournemouth buy-in 25. Everton, be careful in the double game week for goals. I'm not sure we're going to see many. And Newcastle still flying. Jacob Murphy is better value for me than Gordon. They're both very good picks. But if money's tight, Murphy's like 2.5 million cheaper. Oh, and Marmoush at City is going to be an absolute baller. We know that if you watch the game, but the average position in minutes, the fact that Pep played him straight away, never does that, Pep. Marmoush is definitely one to watch at 7 million as well. Guys, go back and watch the last 40 minutes if you're just joining. On your way out, please do hit that like button and do subscribe to the channel as well. I said I was going to try and give away some channel memberships, and I said we needed to get 50 subs. We're nowhere near it, guys. We got how many did we get? We got 11. We got 11 subs. So I'm going to do it anyway. So in the next 60 seconds, 5 of you will win a channel membership. So yeah, if you want to win a channel membership, you've got to put something in the chat. That's all. It goes to 5 people randomly in the chat. You've got to be subbed to win those. So hit the subscribe button, and I will give away a channel member. I'm not going to say when I'm going to hit the button, but I'm going to hit the button in the next 60 seconds. And channel members get all this jazz. They get priority comments, all their questions answered at any point on any of my videos, but also extra content this week and every week, extra YouTube videos. So guys, thank you for the love today. I've really enjoyed Sunday morning. My back's been giving me jips, so I'm keeping it short this morning. And I've got a afternoon planned or a late morning planned with my daughter. So I'm off out. But thank you for watching. I hope you've got loads from the show. And sorry I can't answer all your questions. I get to as many as I can, but I'm conscious that the experience on YouTube catch-up has to be good for everyone watching on demand. And so many do watch this show on demand late Sunday morning because I start early. I don't expect you all to be up. So there we go. I'll be back with a... when will I be back? I'll be back tomorrow morning with my early thoughts video. I'll talk about my team and my transfer plans, as well as my assistant manager plans, which I'll know way more later today when I record that, because I want to watch Leicester and I want to watch Fulham. And that matters because I'm thinking about Moisey and then I'm thinking about moving to Silva. There we go. 5 channel memberships gifted. If you've just won one, Sander won. Did Sander win? Oh, I hope you did. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time for another Sunday debrief. We do this every Sunday. My favourite stream of the week. It really is. For now, enjoy your Sundays. Enjoy the football. Hopefully, Bruno gets me some points. Hopefully, everyone on Burmo gets points and all that jazz. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.